So this is going to be my discussion post for Zimbardo experiment. I wrote everything down, so I'll just be reading off of that. The psychologist Zimbardo, he was interested in taking good people and putting them in an evil environment. He wondered if putting good people in an evil environment, if they would react different if they were to instead turn evil. So he got participants and he put them in the Sanford prison. It was definitely a shocking demonstration of how social roles and situational pressures can influence human behavior. Even though the participants were aware it was just a simulated environment, they quickly adapted to their roles as either prisoners or guards. And I mean, right after the first day, you could already see the guards demonstrating abusive behavior towards the prisoners, and the prisoners exhibiting emotional breakdowns and rebelling after finding out that they weren't able to leave. Seeing how quickly everything escalated was not only startling for the psychologist, but also for people seeing the experiment. One of the questions it asked how I would feel if I was a prisoner in the experiment. And I mean, it's kind of hard to predict how I would react, but I would assume, I would have a lot of, mixed emotion, feel a mix of emotions like confused, frustrated. I would also be scared. I wouldn't want to be treated the way they got treated. It's just, I completely understand how they reacted. It's definitely understandable. And then if I was a guard in the experiment, I hope I wouldn't react the way they did. I feel like they were just way too abusive towards the prisoners, especially knowing that it was just a simulated experiment. It wasn't real. I would try to maintain some sense of empathy, but again, seeing how quickly the guards fell into their abusive behavior, it's kind of hard to say for sure. Something that I feel like Zimbardo could have done differently. Honestly, I feel like he could have done a lot of things differently, but the two main ones that I wrote down was I feel like he became too involved in the experiment, causing him to make just irrational decisions. And then, as soon as he saw abusive behavior, he should have just stopped the experiment. And then another thing I saw was instead of 6 days, he honestly should have just shortened the experiment because I feel like it was way too long. I feel like 6 days was just, too long considering the extreme psychological impact it had on the prisoners. One of the prisoners, they stopped eating, and then, most of the prisoners, they started thinking they were going crazy. So yeah, that was just, kind of hard to see. But one of the other questions, it said, if this study was conducted today, what do I think the results would be? I feel like the results would be the same, but I don't think it would be out of control. With all the technology we have nowadays, I feel like they would obviously stop it as soon as they see any sort of abusive behavior, prisoners going, crazy. If they see them stop, eating, obviously it's their mental health, I feel like that's very important. So they would obviously stop it. I don't think Zimbardo I don't think he made a lot of good decisions during this experiment, causing a lot of the participants to just experience a lot of mental issues. So I feel like he should definitely feel some sort of guilt because he caused a lot of damage to a lot of the people. So yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, but yeah, that's my discussion.